Hello, hello, everyone. It's Kim from K&RP here in southeastern Manitoba. Beautiful sunshiny day, a little on the chilly side. 7 degrees. No, today's the 7th. It's 15 degrees Celsius, which means at 58 Fahrenheit, our air quality is a 1. So at least the smoke is gone. So I am going to play with my pet peeve today. Gonks versus gnomes. Gnomes are German, Gonks are Scandinavian. Gnomes have their eyes showing, Gonks do not have their eyes showing. Gnomes are outside, Gonks are inside. Gnomes are mischievous, Gonks are home protectors. Hey, Teresa, nice to see you. So, just for the heck of it, I checked on Pinterest and I put in images of gnomes. The whole page was full of Gonks. Gonks, guys. I get it. Gonks are easier to do. They don't have eyeballs. I get it. But gnomes, come on, guys. Really. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Belinda. Nice to see you. Hi, Lee. So, anyway, we're going to paint some Gonks and we're going to paint some gnomes today. Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you. So, I pulled out a hunk of 12 by 12 black cardstock. We all know that's my go-to for playing with. We're going to lop it into reasonable sized pieces. Should I do 4 by 6 or 3 by 4? I don't know. Let's do 4 by 6. No, 4 by 3. That way I can use them as cards. Yeah, see? That's just it. Nobody's heard of Gonks. Gonks are the Scandinavian. I can read you the difference. Gonks are a Scandinavian take on the traditional European gnome, differing in their hidden bulbous nose under a stocking cap and their typical use as indoor, felt-based Christmas decorations, whereas gnomes are known for their full faces and used as outdoor porcelain-like garden ornaments. Both creatures are small, bearded, and associated with folklore, but Gonks are a specific type of gnome originating from Nordic traditions, often embodying protectors of the home and bringers of good luck, while gnomes are broadly rooted in European folklore and are often depicted as mischievous earth dwellers guarding treasure. See? Exactly. I'm on my soapbox again. All right, so let's do them by 3 inches now. How are you guys? I am having a lovely day, even if I'm on a soapbox. Three by 4. That way I can tuck them in pockets. And I like the black backgrounds. And if they're not exact, you know, I don't care. There. I got lots to play with. Lots to play with. All right. So I've got my background. I got some water. I've got some paintbrushes. Now I just need some paint. And we can get started. Oh, yeah. Before I even do that, I got Ron to do the, hi, Sherry. Nice to see you. Put the knobs on the drawers. I've got a bit of a tip over here, but I was going to distress these edges anyway. But he put the flocking in. See, it's that blue fuzzy stuff? Because Belinda was asking about the flocking, I wanted to make sure that I showed that today. So we only have blue flocking. So, of course, that's what we use. Again, he put the knobs on this one as well, and it also has blue flocking. So those are ready to, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. Thanks, Sherry. I still have the one that I'm going to paint. You know, I got so many projects. I really need to stop adding additional projects, says she, who is now going to paint a bunch of Gonks and gnomes. All right. We need some sort of a skin color. We need some red. What have I got over here? I've got yellow. I've got, let's use this red. No, this red's empty. Let's just throw that red out. White. Red. That'll give us our skin tone. I've got a palette here. It's got some black dried stuff on. I don't think it's going to be a problem. If not, we just get an additional color in there. And I guess we're going to want some sort of a blue for pants. I've got this blue. And we'll start with that. Yeah. Gonks don't have anything other than a nose. Right. So, I guess they could both have red hats. See, these are nowhere near the same size. I don't know. Kim doesn't know how to use her paper cutter. Shh, don't tell anyone. Okay, we're going to do one gonk, one gnome. That's the way we're going to work it. So let's put some white down. We'll make the skin tone. A little bit of white. This is the Groombacher. That's what the local art store had. I'm going to put the red over there and then just a little bit of red. Oop, that's a lot of red. There's a hair in it. What the heck? What the absolute heck? That's weird. I've never had paint with hair in it before, guys. Creepy. And of course we need the yellow. And then we'll adjust the colors from there. Grab one of my well-used toothpicks and we're going to mix that yellow, red, and white. Gives us a peachy colored skin tone depending on how much I've put in of the red. Too much red, very orange. Very orange. So yeah, it's going to have a darker skin tone, but it's going to, whoa, come on. Ooh, this white is just about done. Come on, don't do this. Lots of white. We'll see what happens. Because that was very, very dark. So basically, skin tone to me is like a peachy color. It's still pretty dark. We can add a drop of black to darken it that little bit more. Problem with the black, a lot of times you don't know if it's a blue black, a purple black, a green black. Kind of cute. I think I want just a little bit more, we could add a touch of brown. I think we can add a drop of brown to that. This is a burnt umber. We'll add a couple of drops. Because brown is just red and green put together. What are we going to end up with? That's not bad. That's not bad. You guys can't see it. What do you think? Not bad? Still quite pink. You can add a little bit more brown to that. Three more drops. Three more drops. Now I have a big puddle of this. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Should I put my stool up here so that I'm working closer to the camera, guys? I think I'll do that. Just so you guys can see better. Can you see it better? Is that better? Is that better? All right. So I think I want a smaller flat brush than the one I've got there. It's the same width, but this is it's got a finer tip. This one has a thicker tip. We're going to use the finer tip. All right. So this is going to be the gnome. Maybe I should have done the 6-inch. They're going to be really compact little creatures. And this is going to be the gonk. Now, water. Don't want to use that one for the nose. Let's use, sorry, looking at my brushes. I'm going to use this one. So this one gets a nose. Nice big round nose. Because he's the gonk. And we'll just go over this. Because that's the face. Now, they both have big, long beards. So we don't really have to worry about mouth. And for that, I would like a light blue. A light blue to start. So this is a sky blue. It's very, very pale. I don't know. It just says acrylic paint. I'm sure this came from a dollar store or something. So have you guys had a good week? I have had an excellent week. My grandson and his lady came for supper yesterday, which was lovely. They brought me flowers. I'm so spoiled. I love it. Now, maybe we should do the pants and shoes first. You can use this for the pants. Not that you can really see the pants. Basically, you can see shoes, but I'm going to make sure that there's a little bit of the pants happening. Just because. And to do that, I'm just doing something like this. Kind of like an oval. And I'm going to do the same thing for the gonk. Now, of course, we know that the beard is going to be coming down over it anyway. But just in case there's some holes in the beard, we want to make sure that there's something other than just a black background. Hey, Liz, nice to see you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. We're doing gonks and gnomes today. It's one of my pet peeves. People call gonks gnomes, and there is a distinct difference between the two. There is a distinct difference. So these are 3x5 pieces of black cardstock I'm working on. I'm just using acrylic paints. Now, colored shirt. Doesn't really matter what colored shirt. I'm going to give them yellow shirts. I think we'll do that. You making a new intro? Lee just did an amazing interview, and he was out looking at some very, very cool layouts that he shared. Okay, so again, I am just doing kind of blobs. Blob for the shirt. We're just doing ovals. Yellow shirt. Okay, so that's how we're gonna start. That's exactly how we're gonna start. Oh, do not wipe your paintbrush on your jeans. Down to one pair of jeans that does not have paint on them that I can wear out in public. All right, that kind of needs to dry a little bit. Let's do their big fun hat. We'll start with that. So a gonk does not have eyes. A gonk has a nose, a beard, little hands, little feet. Right? So the hat would go like this. Of course, the red is going to need a few coats on the black. Again, gonks are Scandinavian, gnomes are German. Or Germanic, whatever you want to say. Oops, didn't want to go quite over the nose like that. I will go back over it with the skin tone. And the same kind of hat for the gnome. Because the gnome has hair. The gnome has a mustache. The gnome has a beard. The gnome has eyes. Right? Right. So again, nice peaky kind of hat. Okay. Let's use some white paint and put some eyes on this gnome here. Oh, come on. Don't do this. I do have more white, but it's like a glossy kind of white, and it's not my favorite. I got way too much skin tone there. We'll do that. All right, so let's give the gnome some eyes. Okay, gnomes have eyes, guys. But they also have the roundish nose that they, so I'm going to dip it a little bit in the red and pick up some more of this skin tone so it's a little bit darker. Just a little bit darker. They also have a big nose. Kind of goofy looking. Almost looks like Pinocchio. Can you see him? I didn't put the overhead light on. Let me just go and do that. Let me just go do that. Be right back. Just over here. On my table. Let me see if that helps. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, it helps. Okay, okay. I'm just gonna roll it up. We'll make it work. Okay. This red paint is dry. Let's go over that again. Like I said, it's going to take a couple of coats. And I'm not going to bother redoing the nose until I've got that hat the way I kind of want it. All right, all right, all right. So we're going to start working on the beard and the hair now. So on a gonk, it goes right from the edge of the cap and down. Yep, I'm using blue. Using my flat brush. Whoop, picked up some of the red there. It's okay. It's fine. And of course, their beards go all the way down to their shoes. Do the same for this guy. But he's got kind of a mustache, right? So we got to give him the mustache, and then we give him the beard. That yellow is very wet still. I picked that up. That's fine. Not concerned. And he's got hair sticking out the sides of his cap, and he's got hair on his forehead. Don't want that pink on there. That yellow's still coming through. We'll cheat by using a little bit of this darker blue in that blue. Just means we'll have to give it extra white. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Still picking up the yellow. It's okay. We're going to be coming back in again anyhow. So you kind of get the idea. We'll go back over this guy with the light blue. I mean, we could do the dark blue on this dude too. Not a problem. Still picking up some of that red paint. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. We're going to go over this one. Okay, so let's do the hair first. It's fine if we're getting the blue from underneath for the hair. Because we want it to be that dark blue gives it the depth. Big mustache on top of the hair. I guess it would be on top of the beard as well. Still picking up the yellow. No big deal. And of course, their beards kind of come to a point, right? Okay, so now we are going to take some black. I have black right over here. Right over there. Way lots of black. Cringeworthy how much black wanted to come out just there. I know these just kind of look like blobs. They don't look like much of anything. I get it. Not a problem. Now we're going to take this wee little liner brush. It's a 0 or something. Whoa! Kim's hand said, throw it, throw it. A little bit of black. We're going to go around the nose, top of the nose, under the nose. I'm just doing the noses right now. All right. All right. So I've got the white. I'm going to take my flat brush. This is a 1/4 inch flat. This is the one I'm going to use for kind of detailing the hair just a little bit. So now we're just going to go lightly over where that dark blue is. And of course, we're going to come back with a liner brush after as well. We're just giving a little bit of highlights here. Doing it kind of as dry as possible. Still picking up that yellow because Kim has 0 patience and nothing to no heat gun. We can fix that with a little bit more of the dark blue. It's fine. Just fine. Whoop. Here. I'm going to let this sit just a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing with this guy with the white. Oh, did I just use the blue? Never mind. I just used the dark blue again. The blue on this one, which is fine. Needs to be a little bit darker around his under his nose and his hat because of course it's darker there, right? Whoa, too dark. Just means I have to add more white. I don't have a problem doing that. And of course it's going to be outlined so I can leave a little bit of a gap between. But I will come in with the light blue while it's still a little bit wet and just start adding the highlights. It's going to take a few coats to get the beard, etc., the way I want it. That's fine. Every time you go over it, it's going to be a little bit lighter. Just pulling it down for some depth. Just pull a little bit down for some depth. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, so you can see that I'm going to go over his nose again because it's very red at the top and it's pretty thin. Like you can really see the black through it. So I'm just going to cover that nose. He's pretty good. I don't need to touch that up. Let's give them some black shoes, boots. We're going to do like the half moon kind of shoe things that I do. Half circle. So his toes are at the front. Figured I would do that now because the beard is going to start coming down to the shoes. And this guy, again, black shoes, but we're going to kind of give him sideways feet. We're just going to do kind of like teardroppy things out the sides. Teardrop, Kim. Not. There we go. There we go. I don't know how well you can see that on the black. We can add white highlights to that after. Now back to a thin brush. We're going to start with the white. And I think I want to start watering it down just a little bit. We don't want it too watered down, but we definitely want it a little bit more flowy. And we didn't really want to pick up that blue that was beside it, but I can live with it. I'll just add more white to it, right? That blue is very dark. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to give them like these kinds of things. The highlights in the hair and the beards. And like I say, this could take 5, 6, 7 coats before I get it quite the way I want it. Do the same thing on that other one. Water it down just a little bit so it flows nicer. It's a little bit thinner. And with the darker blue underneath, it gives that little bit additional texture. You see how it's starting to come together? It's got that little bit of a depth to it. They definitely have to dry. I'm still picking up the yellow. That yellow just does not want to dry. So while we're waiting for that, let's outline the eyes. And then we will outline this one does not have eyes, right? Let's take some white and outline the boots so that you guys can see where the boots are, the shoes. I'll do the tips of these toes just so that you guys can see where they are and just across the bottom. We'll put another coat on the red for their hats. Use this flat brush. We are going to make sure it's dry. Like I say, this red could take 5 or 6 coats. The beard can take even more coats than that. I'm going to try really hard not to get it into the beard if I can, or the hair. And of course, with the gonk, everything's coming out from underneath the hat. This guy, all, like the hair, the mustache, they're not really coming out from underneath the hat. Ooh, we don't need red on the stool. Oh, I got red all over me. My goodness. Well, we all know Kim can't paint without getting it all over her. It's fine. Just fine. I don't know if you guys are aware, Jean entered her beadwork into a state art competition and she got third place. She did really, really well. Second place? Third, I think it was third, but they were beautiful. Her bead embroideries, absolutely stunning. Let's give this guy, maybe does he want green eyes? Something off color from that? A little bit of green. I've got this, it's also a Grumbacher. We really don't need much. Just going to take some out of the cap and put it here. I should enter my what? My beadwork? I don't know. I just don't know if I would want to. I mean, the cabinet that I did took second place in a provincial art show. My beading, I don't know. I don't know. Look, just nasty red all over me. It's not flowing very nice. I need it to have a little bit more fluidity. Fluidity? So those of you who do landscapes, this is also the way I do my waterfalls. I start with a really dark blue, and then I put many, many layers of white, lighter blue and white going over it. I was out picking garden this morning. I got some absolutely fabulous peppers. So we're going to have stuffed peppers for supper. I'm excited. Nothing better than having your own produce in your meals, for your meals, right? Okay, I think we need another layer of red. That one's still a little bit wet. This one is not, it's shiny, but it's not wet. Mucky, mucky, mucky hands. Mucky, mucky. Yeah. So I know that the regular stuffed peppers is like ground beef and rice with like a tomatoey kind of sauce and then cheese, mainly the tomatoey sauce. I like to do it with like a taco meat and do it, with the rice and maybe some corn. And then I do like a taco sauce to go with it instead of soup. I love spices. I like to have things that have flavor. It's funny because my brother and Ron were saying, can't we just have like regular stuffed green peppers just with meat and rice? And I did it because I normally do it Mexican style. Ron was like, yeah, no, it's not the way I remembered it as a kid. Because, well, we've been together for 50 years, right? I don't cook like his mama. Yeah, so this is going to be like a burger with some rice, bit of corn, um, like a taco seasoning mix, but I make it myself so that we don't have all the chemicals and salt. And then I do a taco sauce out of tomato paste, a bunch of spices, water, vinegar. Um, so I mix that in a little bit, and then I'll pour it over when it's closer to done, and then put like a cheese mix on top because it just seems to have cheese to me. We'll give this guy some pupils so that you can see where he's looking. Sausage, rice, corn. Sometimes I use sausage. Sometimes, not often. I'm really letting this dry for a little bit because I really don't want to pick up any more of that yellow. Yes, spices, definitely. Yeah, see, Ron's mom was German, right? So I've learned to make the rouladen and the lentil soup and the spätzle and the bratens and stuff. But I mean, the family I grew up in was Ukrainian British. So such a mismatch. Like Christmas, it used to be like the holopty, the cabbage rolls, pierogies, and then now um, the rouladen, the red cabbage. It's all been added to our Christmas dinners, along with the turkey and ham, of course. So yeah, it's kind of like a international meal. I used to work in a Hungarian restaurant, so we used to do all those little pinchy noodles and stuff. The cabbage soup. Oh yeah, I had lunch. Let's not talk about any food because I don't need any more. Okay, I really want it much more white now, so I'm trying to pick up more white. And of course, with my mom being British, she couldn't cook, but she could bake. But I mean, you know, I can make pasties. I can do toad in the hole. I can do Yorkshire puddings. I cannot do pastry. I have such a stinking hard time with pastry. It's hilarious. I can do bread. Can't do pastry. Cannot. For love nor money. Getting there. He's getting there. Say no to the snacking. Oh my goodness. I comfort eat, and I admit it. So I have been eating an awful lot of garbage lately. I'm not proud of it. I'm not happy with it. I can still wear my jeans, and my jeans, I still have to keep pulling them up. But yeah, I get you. I'm trying hard to do. If I'm snacking, I'm trying to do a little bit healthier. You know, hummus instead of chip dip, um, that kind of thing. And I know that their hats don't go straight up; they kind of tip over to the side, whatever. We're just doing gonks and gnomes, one of each. Yeah, I was doing my fitness pal so that you can put in, well, you put in whatever you eat during the day. They give you a set number of calories you can have. Um, it'll also monitor like the sugars and everything. It breaks it down for you. It gives you what you've eaten nutritionally for every meal kind of thing. But you get to put in your own recipes. So when you put in your own recipe, it'll also break it down. Elliot, Elias, and Earl. Well, I have a couple of gnomes outside, and they are called Gnorbert and Gnerble. So the gnome has to have a Gn name, the silent G. So probably, you know. But I like all three of those names, definitely. And of course, we're going to give them their little hands and stuff after, but we're doing the main parts of it. And of course, they're wearing mittens. They don't necessarily have fingers. It's more mittens kind of thing. And yeah, he probably should have had some pants and more feet. Gonks don't seem to have legs. But yeah, my fitness pal is free, or it used to be. And I like the fact that I could put in my recipes. And they've got darn near everything. Like our little butcher shops and stuff that we go to, and they make their own sausage. They even have the breakdowns for those sausages a lot of times. It's really amazing. Really, really amazing. it is very cool. Okay, so this hat has a thing like this because it's kind of there. I know I still need to touch up the hair on this guy and give him his arms, but I just figured while I'm waiting for stuff to dry, I could put the marks on the hats. I'm just adding a little bit of detail because it's what I do. Garlic's definitely a must. Garlic is the spice of life. I want him to have a little bit of rosy cheeks, but you know what? I'm going to cheat and use pencil crayon because it's a very small area. And then so where the black is, we can give it a little bit of, see that Grumbacher has a little bit of a shine to it. It doesn't take pencil crayon very well. Does not. Don't like that. Guess I'm going to have to do it this way. Water, just a little bit of black. More water. Because we want some shadowing happening here, right? Under the nose, under the hat. Underneath the creases that we just put. This guy too needs shading. Under the hat. Under the nose. Around the eyes, just a little bit around the eyes. I like going from the edge in at the ends, just so that they don't look flat. Some wispy eyebrows. We could give them some wispier eyebrows for sure. Oh, I'm going to have to go back and touch that up. Okay, so that red's still wet. My goodness. Can I lift it a little bit? It's bleeding from his eyebrow. Don't know if I can remove that. Not quite. Not quite. Again, more wet paint. More wet paint. My goodness. If you notice this time I didn't dip it in the water, I'm just dipping it in the white. He almost looks like the Lorax, guys. Need the little white dot in the eye. I think I'm going to have to come in with a gel pen and touch that up a little bit. And of course, they don't necessarily have to be straight. You can give kind of S lines on the very top. So now the way I did the gray, I'm going to do the same thing with the white. I'm going to take a little bit of water and the white. We're going to give a little bit of highlight here in the hat. As we can. Needs a little bit more water. It's not quite as translucent as I was looking for. Soften these lines just a little bit, if I can. No. Of course, that way I want it to dry really fast. Whoop. Now I got it all over the black. Touch it up. Fix it up. It's okay. Chances are I'm going to be chopping these guys out anyway. So, we can give them some hands. Just like this. Same with this guy. We'll give him the same kind of hands, just kind of peeking out the side here. Of course, I'm going to come and outline those with a gel pen. I guess I could use paint. Ah, thanks, Liz. Now, of course, like I say, I would cut them out, put them on a different background, or just cut them so that I've got black around them. Use them for various things. I'm happy with them the way they are. What do you guys think? How about if we call this one Gneel? I have a white gel pen someplace on this desk. Maybe, maybe not. My goodness, where would you be? So this one's Gneel. Having a day, ladies. I'm having a day. And Lee, sorry. Ladies and gentlemen. Gneel, and who's this? Elliot, Elias. You haven't had breakfast yet? Ooh. I make those egg wraps, right? I get those tortillas from Costco and I make them all into like wraps and freeze them. So we had scrambled eggs, breakfast wraps. So that one's Gneel, and is it Elliot, Elias, Earl? We could call him Earl. All right. Waiting for these little hands to dry, and then I will come in with a gel pen and we're going to touch some of this up. So guys, that's how I do my gonks and gnomes. What do you guys think? Are you going to try them? And of course, like I say, they can have those really bendy, twisty hats, whatever, whatever. Hey, Tony, welcome, welcome. I was just on a rant about gonks and gnomes. I know the G is silent. I know. Doesn't stop me from calling them gnomes. Looking for my black Sharpie gel pen, which should be on my desk, but I cannot see it. Don't you go falling off on me. Okay, so we want to outline. This still has the ball on its end. Give it a scribble. So I've had a busy week. I managed to get all my ATCs done for this month. I finished off that journal, got picked up, did that, did my envelope thing, been dealing with garden stuff. Oh. More for the Kimbits, yeah. Okay. And you want some of this kind of thing happening here. And we'll do the same to this little dude. Of course, we could give him fingernails. We could give him all kinds of stuff. So again, gnomes are outside. Gonks. Gonks are household. Good luck things for the household. Yeah, I've been busy. I did, like I said, I got my ATCs. So I made postage out of trains, and anytime is train time. So I did 20 along that line. Yeah, what else have I done? Grandkids came for supper yesterday. Um, Ron's brother is coming for a visit. He'll be here Tuesday or Wednesday. He'll be here for a weekish, maybe a bit more. Playing in the garden. I don't know. I feel like I have been just going all week, but I've got really not too much to show for it. So I'm very happy with the way these guys turned out. What are your thoughts? What do you think I could have done differently? I did something else this week, but what was it, you guys? My word. I honestly don't know where my entire week has gone. Oh, thanks, Tony. Gonks do not have eyes. Gnomes have eyes. This is not a gnome, it's a gonk. They're Scandinavian, they're Germanic. There, again, soapbox. Soapbox is out and at it. I think he needs a little bit of red on top of his nose, but very, very pale. Let's put some water down, just a little bit of red, because we don't want it too strong. We could also do these with collage style, of course. I think we've done them collage style in the past, haven't we, Belinda? How about that? Reasonably pale. Let's sop up some of that, because we don't want too heavy a color. And then we would like some white. Right at the very top. Nice and light at the top. Like that. Say again? Did we do the last time I did my rant about gonks and gnomes? Did I do some collage style? Do you remember? And if I did, are they over here? You know, I have no idea of what I've done because I just do. Monsters, monsters, monsters. People, but they're people, they're not gonks. They're just my dolls. I need these. What's this? Oh, more beavers. Okay. Monsters. Birds, 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 monsters. Could have sworn we did some. No, aliens. I guess I did not do any collage style. Nope. Well, maybe we will do some collage style tomorrow. The one on the right looks like your Christmas card a couple of years ago. Cool, cool. Okay, tomorrow we will do collage gonk and a collage gnome. How's it? I think that'll be kind of fun to do. I'll see if I can work this small in collage with a creature instead of floral, because we know I can work floral this size, but not sure if I can do them this size. But I've got all these cards. We're going to do a series of stuff on those cards now. So, guys, I know it's been a very short video stream, but I need to go and pick some more stuff from the garden. Fall is coming and it has to be dealt with because, I don't want to pay for food that I've got growing, right? So thanks everybody for being here, everybody in chat, everybody who's in the balcony, and anybody who watches the replay. I appreciate each and every one of you. Big hugs to you all, and I will see you tomorrow. Going live at 12:45, and we're going to do collage. We're going to see if Kim can do collage. So bring your bits of paper and your scissors and glue. And hi, Wei Wei. It's been nice to see you. I'm just signing off. Hugs to everybody. Bye now.